Thank you for staying with us. The actualization of President Tinubu's vision for Nigeria has progressed into its second year, setting the mood for national reflection. The two-year anniversary highlights events that have shaped the president's administrative journey, the significance of policies that came alive on this track, and the impact of his proactive stance. Nigerians have also witnessed the implementation of reforms rolled out to match complex demands facing the country, both at national level and globally. More than ever, questions of what the future has in store now becomes more imperative. Joining us now in the studio to reflect on the progress, challenges, and prospects of this administration is a veteran TV broadcaster, media entrepreneur, and culture and tourism consultant, Omotayo, Omotosho, MFR. Good morning, man. It's good to have you join us.
Same here, Zainab. Good to see you again.
Veronica.
I'm glad I'm back home, so to speak.
Great, great. Now, let's look at the past 2 years of the president's administration. It's been a mixed bag of reactions to how the president has performed, be it the economy, be it security-wise. In every way, there's a lot of conversations already going on. And the IMF the World Bank rather says Nigeria's economy is growing strongly, though there's high inflation. But from your perspective, what will be your score of the president's effort so far?
Thank you very much, Zainab. I would say
Veronica.
Thank you. Because Zainab ushered me in, don't mind me. And I know Veronica very well. Thank you very much, Veronica. I must say that for us to have a fair and holistic analysis of Mr. President's 2-year in office, we must look at where he's coming from.
Right.
As a TV journalist, I need to know that.
Yeah.
We don't just jump and say we score him 60%, 55%, 70%. Nigerians are no fools. Let's look at where we're coming from. What did he inherit when he got there?
Right.
And how far has he gone? He inherited what my husband calls a rickety, badly damaged vehicle called Nigeria. And he says the way they handed it over to him, it's like, it's good, you can still manage it, it won't break down. And he believed, not knowing that the rickety was really rickety. The brakes had been failing, the gear failing, the body itself shaking. You could imagine a visual of a rickety vehicle that wouldn't go any distance at all. But Mr. President must have thought it couldn't be that bad. It couldn't be that bad. And so he got into power. What did he meet? The very first thing, or should I say two things that he did, which is so significant, and we must not overlook it, is to do what past administrations failed to do. Removal of fuel subsidy. We were losing as much as $10 billion annually on the so-called subsidy. He took what I call a very, very risky political decision, but very, very economically wise. We must give that to him. Those that handed over to him, successive, how would I put it now, past administrations, didn't have the courage to do that because they knew that Nigerians would protest. Things would be so hard. Foodstuffs, costs would go so high, and Nigeria would easily condemn those administrations. They couldn't do that. He did that. Secondly, the liberalization of the Naira. We knew the two different rates that prevailed at that time. A lot of people were making a kill from the official rate compared to the black market rate. You know what happened to the CBN governor at that time? He gave in. He allowed that. Lots of his cronies, his friends, his allies got money from CBN at the official rate. And then what did they do with it? Whereas those that are genuine investors that needed the funds couldn't. So we shouldn't say, oh, he's not done so much. We cannot even see the effect. He took the bull by the horn, and I doff my hat for him.
So after the removal of fuel subsidy, of course, I don't know, it's something that we'll keep talking about till thy kingdom come. Because the administration increased the national minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira, you know, as a result of listening to the NLC and, you know, to mitigate the this impact, and then distributed over 24 billion naira through conditional cash transfers to over 900,000 vulnerable households. So I'm wondering, to what extent do you consider these social welfare initiatives mitigated the economic hardship that Nigerians are feeling? Because they're saying that we are not exactly feeling this.
I get that, Ibrahim. I get that. I go to the same market that you go to.
That's right.
And I know that the cost of things have gone really high. But for the government to have increased 30,000 to 70,000, I know some state governments that have started paying that. I know most. Yeah, I know exactly. Some are even paying more than 70. I know most have not been able to. And they say because they cannot afford it. I use this medium to make an appeal to the governors. The huge amount of money they have in their security vote solely for their own use, they could take 50% of that.
Or the more than double allocation that they are receiving now.
Thank you. They could take some certain percentage of that, 80% of that, to assuage the sufferings of Nigerians. Of course, a lot of Nigerians are suffering. We go to the same market. I send my domestic staff to the market. I give them 100,000, 200,000. They come back and tell me, Mommy, see what we bought with it. It is very sad. And I would expect a situation where other states borrow a leave from Lagos State. Lagos State is paying even more than 70,000 because they know we have a governor that feels the pains. You might tell me that Lagos State generates much more money than other states. But other states that have gotten this, what do you call it, bailout from the presidency, what are they doing about it? I've always said something, Veronica and Ibrahim, that what we lack in Nigeria is genuine love for one another. We don't have that genuine love.
Is it among people or from government to the people, or just among the people?
From government, of course. Among the people, we help ourselves.
Right.
We help ourselves. I know some of my DG colleagues, some of my PAMSEC colleagues and friends that have adopted some homes to assist them with funds, with support, with foodstuffs regularly, including my own home. So we assist ourselves, but how much can we do? I'm talking from the leaders, our leaders, to what do you call it, the grassroots. Because if, okay, let me listen to you.
Because of time, I just wanted to throw in this question. Still speaking on the matter of love or sabotage as it is, because we look at NEL Fund where that government put in place to addressing this matter of access to quality education. So that students can have loans. And then recently we hear there's corruption in the process. At the end of the day, some schools do not even tell the students that this money is available, or they deduct certain amounts of monies from these monies that the students are supposed to get. We have seen policies being put in place by the government and this administration to improve the lives of Nigerians, but we still have those who sabotage this whole matter. How do we address it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Talking of NEL Fund, I will tell you that don't be carried away by what we read in the newspapers and in the media. Because the gentleman that supervises NEL Fund, I know him in person. He's a responsible gentleman, God-fearing. Sometimes when you see all this headlines and all that, I've been in position of authority before. Thank God I didn't experience this hostile treatment. It is politicized. It is politicized. I work closely with TED Fund because I handle some of their media, what do you call it, promotion programs. And I heard from the grapevine that it's all politicized. The gentleman means well for Nigeria. Mr. President that appointed him there knew what he's doing, and so we would want it to be thoroughly investigated and the man given a clean bill.
It may not be from his office, but it might be from the schools, the
I know. That's why I said investigated.
Yes.
That's why I said investigated. He's the chief executive, but he has a lot of people under him.
Absolutely.
And so you're very right. And I'm sure he's going to do that because you've heard him talk about whatever we need to investigate, we will investigate. But let me dive to the core of the point you're trying to make. The fact that we have agencies of government that must be responsible to the people, that must deliver governance, deliver democracy dividend, deliver the job they're supposed to do. How many of them are doing it? That's a question you may really be. You're very right. See what had happened at NNPC. By the time the president got into power 2 years ago, I heard a lot of my colleagues in the media telling me and saying it amongst themselves, the GMT must be investigated. NNPC must be investigated. They said they privatized NNPC. They've not privatized it. It's like still government institution. But what did the president do? A listening president, but very, very sound, a man of wisdom. He didn't do the change or the removal immediately. Some of my colleagues have said, what is President Bola Tinubu doing? A lot of wreck, a lot of stench at NNPC. And NNPC happens to be the biggest federal government institution in Nigeria today.
That's right.
NPA, NIMASA, they're coming behind. So most of our resources are in there. Oil and gas dominated economy anyway. So they wanted him to quickly look into the place, change the leadership, and bring it, but a man of wisdom. If he had done that, some of our brothers and sisters up north will say, Bola Tinubu don't come again, no. He's the #1 person in the north that he decided to remove. He don't come again. So he took his time. But at the right time, when it became so obvious that investigation must be conducted on NNPC, when it became obvious that we cannot continue like this, when some people are cutting away the resources and we, the general masses, are suffering, he did the right thing. We must commend that as well, tactically. Tactically.
Interesting stuff. And one thing is, I know that you have special interest when it comes to tourism, and I want you to speak,
I know you're going to ask a question on that.
Because they refer to it as Nigeria's, hidden gold mine. I think I've heard you mention that. Yet it actually remains largely untapped, with the government's, renewed push to revamp this sector, the tourism sector, through, is it NTDA, NITSTA, the way they call it, and the cultural diplomacy. What practical steps do you think that the government must be taking, the government must do to ensure that Nigeria is not just tourist ready, but globally attractive?
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim. I wouldn't agree that tourism are still not developed, and we've been talking of potential. I will tell you why I said that. Tourism is not just the tourist sites. Often a time when you measure tourism by the state of our tourist sites, you realize, oh no, we have not done much. Tourism goes beyond that.
Goes beyond physical geography.
Exactly, geographical sites, tourist sites, Obudu Ranch, Oshogbo, what do you call it now, Gurara Waterfall. It goes beyond that. Nigeria is ready for tourism. See the extent of the tourism attractions we got. We're talking of fashion tourism, cultural tourism, ecotourism, black heritage tourism, cuisine tourism. Those ones are being given the desired attention. Look at let me quickly say this.
If you could just hold your thoughts, we need to go on a break now.
Okay, then we'll come back.
When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We still have our guest in the studio, veteran TV broadcaster, media entrepreneur, and culture tourism consultant, Omotayo Omotosho, MFR, in the studio, giving us a scorecard of the current administration. And before we went on the break, you were speaking about tourism in Nigeria. What do you make of it so far?
I'm saying that the president, Bola Tinubu, is doing a lot in the field of tourism and culture. And there's some governors that have keyed into it, like Lagos State. Let me use that as an example. We have gone a long way in the field of entertainment tourism. So Nigerians should stop looking and judging Nigeria when it comes to tourism by the number of tourist sites that they want us to revamp. Of course, it's important. But that's not just what tourism is all about. In the entertainment industry, for instance, see what happened on Sunday at the multi-choice viewers.
AMVCA.
Exactly. It was a beautiful array of celebrities, those that are making Nigeria proud.
And display of culture.
Exactly. And a lot of visitors came from outside Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Just for the awards. After the awards, I was inundated by lots of friends from America, from the Caribbean, from Europe. Omotayo, when next is the celebration? I saw it on air. I want to come. That is a beautiful aspect of tourism.
Absolutely.
We must not ignore entertainment tourism. We must not ignore our dances, our culture, our innuendos, our rhymes.
Right.
Beautiful.
Interesting.
Aspects.
But now we just have 2 years, midterm. What more would you want to see the president build on and address as he moves on to the next 2 years?
Thank you very much, Veronica. One, he must accentuate what he's doing in the field of tourism infrastructure.
Okay.
And what do I mean by tourism infrastructure? The roads that gives us access to the tourist sites, if we're talking of tourist sites, because most of the tourist sites are, how would I put, run down. Yeah. Basic electricity, healthy environment, potable water, infrastructure, security, very, very key. All these are elements that boost tourism. And I've always said it that we don't even leave it to the president alone. If state governors take the bull by the horn to promote this sector, then we would record a high level of, what do you call it, achievement nationally. Because tourism does not start and end in Abuja.
No.
While I was in tourism, I didn't sit in Abuja doing office work. No, I went out to see the state governors that were ready for tourism. I had a courtship with them. They became my friends. I told them, give me your tourism calendar. What and what you want us to complement you to develop. The federal government is ready, but you at the state, you should be ready. And they say, Omotayo, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
And you think most of our states are not ready?
Our states, most are not ready. I would say like 60% are ready. Let's take off with the 60%. I would fool you if I say 80% no, because tourism has a long gestation period. And that's why people are diving into oil and gas, oil and gas. Very soon oil and gas will extinct. Tourism is the way to go. All over the world, globally, emphasis is placed on tourism because it's a revenue spinner.
Right.
And so we shouldn't leave it to the federal. Federal is to give policy directions. State, see what Donald Duke did in the field of tourism when he was Cross River governor. See what Bola Tinubu did here in Lagos, when he was Lagos State governor. We worked together and promoted Black Heritage Festival, and it became the tourism icon for Lagos.
Unfortunately, time is not our friend.
I know.
There's so much you want to say.
Tourism is our friend.
Tourism is
our friend. And we'll talk about it over and over again until we get to where we want to get to.
Yes. Omotayo Omotosho, MFR, veteran TV broadcaster, media entrepreneur, and culture tourism consultant. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Veronica. Good to see you again. And
Same
Ibrahim,
here.
you're doing a beautiful job here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Keep the flag flying.
Thank you. Now, after the break, we will discuss the impact of the growing number of